Hello guys, I'm so happy to be with you. Welcome to Junk Journal January. I'm so happy that I was invited to make a video. So my prompt is stickers, and I thought it'd be really cool if we made our own stickers. I love all stickers. I use all of them, but I thought it'd be fun to show you just a really fun and easy way to use napkins and to take napkins and transform them into stickers. So you'll just need whatever kind of napkin you want. I have a few varieties too. We're going to make a couple of these so I can show you a different variety. Then you're going to need double-sided adhesive. So this is adhesive that is sticky on both sides. You can get it on Amazon. It's not very expensive, and I will link it below in case you're interested. And then you're going to need some scissors to cut out your stickers. Then I like to seal mine with a clear acrylic sealer. You can use whatever brand you want. It doesn't matter. This one's a little stinky, so just keep that in mind. So you'll have to do that outside. I do have another one too. The Deco Arts one doesn't have much of that really bad chemical smell afterwards. So just keep that in mind. But this takes a while. This one I do only outside. You're also going to need some ink pads too. This is archival ink, but use whatever you want. I have black and brown. Those are the colors that I use the most of. And then I just have some background stamps here. So just ones that you know aren't like an image, but just add a little bit of visual texture. Okay, so I have my double-sided adhesive here, and I think I'm actually going to cut this one in half. I'll show you one with a full sheet. We'll do that. And then just going to cut it in half, give myself a little bit more real estate, just like that. Alrighty, so we have our two pieces here, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our napkin. This is a full napkin that I just cut in half. And we're going to go to the edge here. Just remember that napkins normally have a few layers on them. So you just want to make sure that you're just getting the printed part of your napkin. That's the important part of this process. This one I can see is going to give me some resistance. So what you can do is you can take a little bit of glue on your fingers. Doesn't matter which kind of glue you use. And just a little bit on your tip here. And you're just going to press it together like that, and then you can just go to the tip of the napkin, and you can, normally it will just peel apart. Let's do this here. Yeah, I think it did it there, and it just takes it apart. A neat little trick one of my friends taught me. You can remove it. Sometimes they have 2 or 3 layers, so just keep that in mind. These are from Dollar Tree, so they don't really normally have a bunch of layers. It's just one. And then you can kind of just see where you want to place it. I'm going to do the other one too. I have 2 of these guys. And it's so fun to make your own stickers. I always have a lot of napkins because unfortunately you have to buy them in a big pack. I am doing napkin packs too, so if you want to buy a variety of different napkins, you can get that in my Etsy store. I'll have that linked below too. Yeah, so really fun to use. I love napkins. You can get them at Tuesday mornings, all sorts of really cool place. Over here, pull that off. And they're so versatile. You can use them in so many ways in your art. So I'm just going to take this and just cut it. If you don't want to cut, you can get a wet brush and just do like wet cutting. If you do decoupage, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Just going to do this. I just want to get rid of all the white that I can, and really I just want the printed part. Okay, we'll do the same thing here. Let's just go ahead. And this one we're going to spray with acrylic sealer. I just want you to see the difference. And then I did another one that you'll see too that is not sealed. So you can have your preference. Okay, and once you have that all together, you can put the little scraps of the under part of your napkins away. And then I'm just going to kind of figure out how I'm going to lay this out. I think I'm going to do them side by side. Yeah, I think that works. But if you wanted to, you could do the entire sheet, and I'll show you that next. But just to get an idea. And we're going to go here on the tip of our double-sided sticky tape, or double-sided adhesive, not sticky tape, adhesive sheet, and we're going to peel off one side. I just like to do the corners, and I kind of just mess with it until I get one of it going. And this is sticky paper, sticky back paper, so I use this for a ton of different things. So save that, add it to your stash. You can put stickers that you don't use or washi tape on this kind of backing, and it works really, really great. Okay, so let's lay that out, and then very, very gently. This is kind of a one-shot deal, right? So if you mess it up, it's not going to work. Just keep in mind that there will be a little bit of wrinkles. I've never been able to get it perfect, but it's so pretty, and you get the texture of the napkins, which I love. So you're just going to place it on there. I like to start at one end and then put that down first, press it down, and then slowly just work my way up and press. Okay, and then you can smooth it out. And here you see that I didn't quite press all the way down good. That's okay. Just like that. I'm just going to press that down now. Okay? But I'm just trying to get as much kind of bang for my buck as I can, right? So we'll do the same thing here. Maybe we'll do this one. And just press, just like that. And there's a little part of sticky there. So if you wanted to, you could cover it up. Maybe I'll get this guy here and just trim that off and add it. Maybe I'll need a leaf or something, or I can use it as collage. We'll see. I don't know. But I don't like to waste any part of that stickiness if I can. Okay? Perfect. Okay, so now let's do some stamping. So you can pick whichever kind of stamps you want. I have the archival ink that I talked about. I'm just going to kind of move this over a bit and pick out whichever stamp you want. I really love this one, or this one's really pretty. This is the first stamp that I got in my mixed media journey. So I'm just going to apply it right on the back of my stamp. I'll put the top on that, and then I'm going to take some of the ink off because I want it to be a little bit in the background. And we're just layering on texture onto our napkin. So that's all we're doing. Doesn't matter which way you bring it. Press it down. It can be backwards. We're just adding some visual texture. And you can keep going, keep layering your stamps up. You could even add stencils to this, but it just gives it a little bit more interest. So you can see here that you can see the text kind of shining through. So I love that. And that will just be really pretty on a page, or however I'm going to use this. Okay. And then I'm going to seal this with the acrylic sealer. I'm going to go outside and do that so that I can breathe later on. And then I'm going to show you the difference between the one that's sealed and not sealed. And we're going to create a quick background, and I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can use your new napkin stickers. So I'll be back. So let's get started. So first you're going to remove the plies from your napkins. I do sell little napkin packs in my Etsy store. So if you don't want to buy a whole giant pack, you can just get a variety. So let's remove the layers of the napkins. We just want the part that is printed. I'm known as a napkin thief to my friends. When I go over to their house, if they have a beautiful napkin, I always ask for another one. So there's so many pretty ones, especially Tuesday mornings and shops like that. So I'm just going to take it and separate it. If your napkin is not coming apart, you can just take a little bit of glue, it doesn't matter what kind, and actually squeeze it onto your fingertips and press it, and that will take apart the layers of your napkin. This one only has 2. This is a dollar store napkin, but sometimes they have 3 or 4 layers. So just very gently peel back that layer. And you can use this, for something else too. I like to save these. It's very nice. The backs of the napkins make really cool collage paper, so you can use that. And you see here that I do have some rips in this, but that should be fine. And then you'll just kind of figure out where you're going to lay out your napkin. So it looks like I can only use one side of this, but that's fine. And we're actually going to cut out the flowers. We're going to kind of do a layering technique. It's going to be so cool. Okay, so we can actually, and if you wanted to, what we could do is just cut off the center here. We'll just cut out the white part, but it might be cool to include some of the white part. If you don't want harsh edges, you can take a little paintbrush too. So let's do this. But I want to get as much floral kind of space as I can get for my stickers. I don't really want any blank white space, so that's why I'm doing that. Okay, then for this part, we're going to take this apart. So I'd like to start at a corner and just kind of peel it back just a little bit. I do have nails, but normally I do not have them. And just be patient. You're just going to peel off one side. So whichever side kind of opens, and if you need to go to the other side, that's okay. See if I can get my finger in there. And I just do a little corner, and normally I'm able to get some of it. So I'm just going to peel off this backing of sticker paper or double-sided adhesive, and we're going to stick that down like that. Okay, and this is a one-shot wonder, right? So be careful, because when you put it down there, it's going to stick. Okay, so we'll just kind of stick it down, and it's very sticky, so I like to start at one end. And this is it is a napkin, right? So it's not going to be totally straight. It's going to have some texture, but that's totally fine. I'll do that, kind of smooth it over. You can see here that I didn't do very good on that side, but that's okay. And then we'll take the other one, and I'm just going to attach it here like that. And it's okay if it doesn't work, but it'd be ideal if you had one napkin to go over the entire sheet, but that's all right. We're gonna live dangerously. And then I'm just gonna take it and just tear off the excess, or that part that's sticking up a bit. Doesn't matter, I still have plenty of flowers to play with, so I think it adds cool texture. I could have cut off some more of that white. Alrighty, so we're just going to tear that back a bit. Just like that. And I love florals for this, but there's so many cool napkins out there that you can use. So do as you wish. Okay, and then you're going to take your stamp set, whichever kind you want. I'm going to use black for this, and I have some text. Use this guy. And we're just going to add a little bit of visual interest. So take it and just apply it to your stamp. You can even stamp it off if you want it a little bit lighter, which I probably will do. So I just have some under paper here. I'm going to just stamp it off a bit. Okay, make it not so saturated. And then I'm just going to kind of layer it up. So maybe here we'll put some. And that's still very saturated, so I'm going to get rid of even more. I want it a little bit dull. Okay, there. There. Ooh, that's perfect. I like that a lot. Maybe here. Oh, yeah. And I love brown and also gray too. Are really fun for this technique. Very cool. So we can get some over here too. And it's just going to add a layer onto our stamp. It's going to make it a little bit more interesting. Just going to keep going here until I get something that I like. Right? It doesn't just look like a napkin now. It has a little bit of texture. And you can keep adding, keep layering more on top if you want. You could also, because this does have some protection now, you can even go in with stencils too, and that would be great. Or you could even collage on top. So there's a ton of really cool things that you can do with this process. I'm going to keep it simple though, and then you'll just spray your acrylic sealer on top. I'm going to go do that outside, and I'll be back after this dries. But let's do another one too. And I think I have another napkin that should go over everything, the entire surface. And as I said, these will have a little bit of texture. You're going to get a little bit of wrinkles, but I think it looks so cool. Okay, so let's peel it apart. We'll stick that down there on the surface, just like that. Righty, and I'm just going to kind of move this over. And then I'll take this, because if you accidentally get your napkins on there, it's going to stick. So, alright, so I'm just going to take this. Make sure you don't get the plastic on this double-sided adhesive. I've done that, so I'm just telling you. So this one we could probably, I think it will almost go. Yeah. So that's pretty good. So if we wanted to, we could have a little bit of another napkin on top. So we'll just take this. I'm going to hold it kind of away and over. Perfect. Okay, and then you can start maybe at the edge here. Make sure everything is lined up, and then very, very gently just roll it down like so, and then press it. Give it a nice press, just like that. And it does have texture, right? It's not totally straight. There are some that are more straight than others, but it works out. I like it. Do the same thing here. Let's grab another napkin, and we're going to remove the back of it. Just take it apart. Again, you can use glue to take apart those layers, and then we're going to go here and just set it down. I mean, you could probably even complete the design a little bit if you wanted, but I think maybe I'll put this down. Oops, right on the edge here. So it can be a little finicky, so just take your time. Just like that. And I think that this would be a cool sticker, you know, when I cut them out in general. But let's use some of this beautiful brown. We'll use a little bit of the, do I want text? Yeah, this one is really cool. It has a lot of different interesting things, music notes and flourishes and things like that. And so we're going to just use that. Just going to ink it up. You could absolutely use an acrylic block for this, but I am a mixed media artist, so I like things not to be so perfect. So I'm going to take that off a little bit. And this is more subtle, as you can tell. Let me put the top on this too. Turn it whichever way you want. Oh, that looks cool. But we just want to create something interesting and layered, right? I really love stickers that have a lot of interest in them. They're kind of not so bare. Looks cool. So if you look close, then it won't look like it's anything that you bought, you know, and put on a sheet. You kind of are making it your own. So that looks really cool. And if you wanted to, you could go in with some paint and stencils too. I'm not going to do that. I want to keep this simple, but I hope you try that. You tag me so I can see it. So you're going to take scissors, and once you get it the way you want it, we can just pick one to cut out, kind of like this one in the center here, but I want to add, let's add a little bit more to that guy. I'm going to kind of take some off like I did with the other one. Oh, that looks so cool. That looks really cool. Okay, and I just want to bring it up close so you can see. Let's put the little thing on here. Good. So can you see the text here. Kind of cool. It's very subtle, but if it's on a page, you'll be able to see it. I think you'll be able to see the detail. So if we wanted to cut out some of these elements or cut out our stickers, we just take it and just cut around. You can add as much or as little white space as you want. For this one, I'm not going to seal it. I just want you to see both. And when you're cutting things, I know that we like to cut on the tips, but if you actually bring the item to the end of your scissors, to the bottom of your scissors, it just makes cutting a little bit more easy. And I don't use small scissors. I actually use big ones. Sometimes I even use kitchen shears, but so you can get pretty close to it too. I'm just going to do the initial cutout. I'm not getting as close as I possibly could. Alrighty, but if we go in here, we can get in a little bit more. Remove all the white or some of the white, whatever you want. You're the boss. So it's cut out, and then if you want to stick it on something, you absolutely can. I think I have my journal closed, or one of them, and we'll make a real journal page in a second, but I should have a background started. So if we wanted to add this element, we could just layer it on top. See? And then if you wanted to add that, you're just going to take it, get on one of the edges and peel back the back of it of the double-sided adhesive, and see how it's sticky? It's actually super sticky. Very gently, you can just take it and stick it wherever you want. Just so nice. I just thought it might look cool here, so maybe we'll stick it down here, and you can smooth it out. And you have a sticker. Check it out. And then we could, build it up and create something really cool. So I'm going to seal the other one so you can see that. And then we're going to actually make an art journal page or a junk journal page with our stickers. So, hi guys, so I want to show you the difference between the stickers. So this is the one that has the acrylic sealer on it. And it's really cool actually. It's a little bit transparent. So if I kind of pull this back again, you can see my hand underneath it. So it gives it this really cool finish that I absolutely love. It's kind of like wax stickers, and they're very transparent and easy to layer. So I recommend actually using the acrylic sealer if you want that look. If not, these have not been sealed. They're still beautiful, but you definitely get the texture from the napkin. So it's up to you, whichever one you want, but I just wanted to show you the difference. Okay, so let's start creating our page. I'm just going to use archival ink, collage paper, gelatos, and some white gesso and water. Very, very simple. So let's glue down that collage paper. This is just a phone book page that I played around with and stenciled over. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some stampings, just stamps using my stamps that I used before and a little bit of archival ink, nothing fancy. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my gelatos, and I'm going to activate them with water and a little bit of gesso. If you don't have gelatos, you can also use chalk pastels. I love activating them with gesso. They're so cool and awesome, so you can definitely use that in. And I'm just adding just a little bit of washed out color that kind of matches the color of my stickers. So really fun, easy, simple background. And I'm going to do the other page with the same materials that I have. I love doing this kind of thing in my junk journals. I can experiment, so I'm going to add some stamping there, and then I'm also going to just apply some marks on there with my gelato and activate those with water. I was experimenting with a little bit of collage, but I decided not to use that. But I am going to use the paper from the napkin, that white part, and I'm going to kind of veil it. I love kind of veiled backgrounds, so I'm going to apply that too, but I'll do that a little later. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll come back when it dries in a few minutes, and we will finish kind of working on these backgrounds. So for the first one, we're going to take our stickers. These are the stickers. They have not been sealed with the acrylic sealer, so they are very much like napkins, but they're so cute. And I'm going to make a border. So I'm just going to kind of addition all of my pieces, so very, very easily, and I'm going to peel back that little backing of them and stick them onto my page. It's so fun and easy, and it's great to kind of play with all the pieces and see what you come up with. So I'm just going to create a border, and then in the middle I'm going to put in some words. You can cut out your shapes. You have this sheet of beautiful stickers that you can use, and I love the texture that the napkins have in this way too. And then you'll just peel it back, and the great thing is that you can even doodle on top of these. You'll see that I do that later with gel pens, and that worked out really, really well. And just stick them down, see where you like them, and just create a beautiful border. So that's one way that you can use these stickers, and I love it because there's so many beautiful napkins out there, and it's so great that you can turn them into stickers. And I'm going to cut out some words from a book page here. It's vintage, so it falls apart, so you'll see I'll change the words in a second, just with a glue stick, and then I'm going to outline them with my Mark Stahl Stabilo All pencil. I'm going to have all the supplies linked, so you don't have to worry. So you can come back and see everything that I'm using and see exactly what I'm using. I was thinking too, if you did not have the double-sided adhesive, you could also just use like a whole sheet of labels, like a full sheet of labels. You can get that on Amazon or Office Depot, and you could just decoupage them and then do the acrylic sealer, and that would work out great too. I think you would get that same effect. I tried using paint pens on top of them. It didn't work. I think it will work with the ones that have the acrylic sealer on. So I'm just going to activate it, and then I'm going to go in and add a little bit more of the gesso with the gelato, just to kind of blend in the stickers a bit and add a little bit more color. I did add some splatters too, but I'm just taking a really scruffy brush and going around the edges of some of the stickers just to blend them in. So it's just a fun, really simple page. I'm going to add a little bit more color because I like that burnt kind of yellow. I think it's so pretty, or the yellow ochre. It's just such a beautiful color. And then I'm going to apply the back of my napkin, the white part, and kind of make it veiled and interesting. And then whatever I have left on my brush with the gesso and the gelato, I'm just going to kind of give it a wiggle, add a painterly touch there, and glue it down. And then I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. I trim it, and then I'm going to start cutting out these beautiful stickers. I love this version with the acrylic sealer, and I'm just going to make like this cascade in the middle of the page, add a word, and then I'm going to cover it with tulle, so with fabric. So it's going to be beautiful. I love it. And these stickers are so transparent and beautiful, and they're just so fun. I'm in love with them. It's so much fun to make. And I got this idea from an artist on Pinterest. He speaks only Spanish, so I did have to do some translating, but I will link below so you can show him some love too. But thank you so much for joining me for Junk Journal January. I know there's so many amazing videos and so much inspiration. I love junk journaling. It's a totally different process for me. I'm so much more experimental in this journal, and I think it's because the pages aren't precious and you could experiment and have fun. So I hope that you try this technique. If you do, please tag me, Shami Dixon, on Instagram so I can share your beautiful work. Nothing makes me happier than sharing your work, and it's been such a joy to join you, and I love how these pages turned out. I'm sorry this video was a little bit long, but I really wanted to show you how many cool techniques you can do with this. So hopefully you found one way that you can make your own stickers too. It's nice to buy stickers, but it's great if you can make them yourself. And I think this would be a fun project to do with kids, and it's fun. So I'm going to just add the text there and then cover it with tulle. I'm just going to use Elmer's Glue All on the edges and just glue down that fabric. So really fun, really easy. I can't wait to see all your beautiful creations. As I said, I will have everything linked below. I make videos every week, and I would love for you to join my creative community. And thank you so much for Megan again for hosting this wonderful event, and I will see you guys next time. Happy creating. Bye bye.